Hey everyone, I'm going to do a review of the new End-Season MVPs pack. It's a nominating contract pack. I'll get right into it and we'll start with Hatate from Celtic. So Hatate is a 3-star card. He's a whole player. They've got him down as centre mid or attacking mid. And with the whole player play style and the fact that he can't defend to save his life, I think it's fair to say he's going to be playing a more offensive role. He's not going to be a box-to-box type for anyone. So for a start, I'll get rid of those 4 points that are on defending. Needs a bit more offensive awareness. It'd be nice to get him up to the 70 mark there. One more on passing. If we could do that. Take one off shooting. Would that get us there? Yeah. Yeah, I would do that. I would just tweak the auto allocation personally. Don't think I'll do much else with him. He is, as I say, he's a 3-star card. Ignore the stars on eFootball Hub. That's incorrect. He's a 3-star in game because he only goes up to 87, 88, as you can see. If you've got a Japan squad like me, which I like to use in the national team challenge, great option. Very happy to pick this guy up. He's going to be playing as an AMF for me. Likewise, if you're a Celtic fan, you love him. He is a tidy little player, but like I say, he's a 3-star. So if you don't want him for a Japan squad or a Celtic squad, he might not be for you, but he's a fun little card. Next up, the other 3-star that we've got Guler. Apologies if I've said his name wrong. He's a teenager, plays for Fenerbahce. Interesting on this because it's surprising he's only a 3-star. When you look at the fact he's 90 plus and all these 3 stats for ball control, dribbling, type possession. He does lack though, primarily in offensive awareness, and his speed's not the best at 76. I think personally what I'd to do, especially when you bear in mind he's a classic number 10, so he's an attacking midfielder and he's got that classic number 10 play style. With low offensive awareness and classic number 10 play style, you might find he's quite static with his movement, quite passive. He's not going to be charging beyond the attack and getting into great positions in the area, so you might find that frustrating. Personally, I think what I do with his build, I don't think he needs too much on his shooting. I'll take a few off there. His dribbling doesn't need to be that high. I'll take a whole bunch off that. Maybe one extra on passing, get his lofted passing up. And then it's the speed that concerns me a bit. Get that right up. Yeah, that's nice. And he got 2 left. Put one more back on his shooting. Yeah, I'd probably have to do something like that. The way I would train this guy, I might pick him up, to be honest. He looks pretty neat. Like I say, though, offensive awareness is lacking a bit. We've got a bit more speed on him here, though. 82 and 87 for his pace, which is good. Good balance. Stamina's poor, so you'd probably look to put counter target on him. Otherwise, you'd have to sub him off relatively early in the game. But yeah, pretty tidy on the ball. He's got that end product. You look down at his skill set here. You know, he's tidy on the ball. He's got long range drive to hit those curlers, and he's got one-touch passing through passing, so he can pass the ball well, create chances for you. Like I say, he's a 3-star card. He's not going to be on the same level, obviously, as a lot of the attack midfielders that we have in our squads at this point if we've been playing the game for a while. But certainly, I think fans of Fenerbahce will be quite excited to pick this one up, and I think he can do a job. I think for a 3-star card, he's pretty good. And next we have Martinez from Fiorentina. Not a great deal to say about this guy. He's 4 stars. Again, ignore the stars here. That's incorrect. In eFootball Hub, in game he's 4 stars. He goes up to 90. He's not really weak anywhere, to be honest. He doesn't really excel anywhere though. That's why he's only 4 stars. Down the left, he's not brilliant, but he's also not. He's not too bad either for a centre back. Heading only 78, but he does have 85 for jump, 82 for physical contact, and you look down here, he's got aerial superiority, so he's all right in the air. He's got interception, he's got acrobatic clear, fighting spirit, sliding tackle, so he's not got all the defensive skills you want, but he does have a few. His defensive stats are pretty decent, if they're not outstanding. Speed's not too bad. Stamina's decent for a centre-back, so yeah, I think if you're new to the game, you need a centre-back option, or if you're a Fiorentina fan, could be a useful one to pick up for you. I think most of us have got better options by now, though, so decent, but not overly exciting. Alexis Sanchez, on the other hand, again, he's another 4-star card, but this is a good card. I quite like this one. I might pick him up. Deep lying forward, again, this play style is not for everyone. He's going to be dropping deep and getting involved in the build-up quite a bit, and he won't be making as many runs as a goal poacher would, for example. looking at the way they've done his stats and have a little look at his skill set first, actually. So he's got long range drive for curlers. You look up here, he's got 82 for curl, and he's got obviously 81 finishing. So his long range curlers could be very effective. Accurate finishing, first time shot, through passing. Through passing is an interesting one because, as I say, he's a deep lying forward. His passing's okay. We can have a look at where we can get that up a bit and combine it with through passing, really make him a bit more, make the most of that through passing skill for a guy who's going to be dropping deep into the build up quite a bit. He's not got the best speed either, and stamina again is pretty bad. So what would we look at over here? I think we could spare a bit from his dexterity. He's already pretty high there. Physical contact and his aerial stats I don't think are really relevant. He's not going to be good in the air no matter what you do. I would take those away, and then that lets us go 3 higher in speed, get up to the 80 mark for speed, and then you got 4 left, stick 1 passing, 75 now for low pass. That's probably what I do on him. Like I say, I'm tempted to pick him up myself. I don't really like the deep lying forward play style. He could play wide left as well. As I say, he's got really what looks like a very effective long range curler on him. 81 finishing, 82 curl. He's tidy on the ball, good offensive awareness, fantastic balance. He's got a bit of pace about him. He's not the quickest, but he looks pretty nimble. Good kicking power as well. You will need counter target on him to preserve his stamina. And otherwise, as you said with Guler, you'd look to be taking him off probably quite early in the game. But he looks pretty useful to me. He looks like a tidy little player, and I'm quite tempted to pick him up. So yeah, deep lying forward, not everyone's thing, not a play style everyone likes. He might not be for everyone, but I think a lot of people can quite like this card. Next up, Kokcu from Feyenoord. I picked him up from the Turkey pack months ago, and I love him. He's brilliant. The thing with this guy is he's down as a centre mid. He's got the orchestrator play style. So what that means is he's going to be lurking around in the middle of the pitch, and he's going to stay quite deep. He's not going to make many attacking runs as an orchestrator, but that's if you play him centre mid or defensive mid. He's also got attacking mid, and that's where I personally play him. Because if you look down here, not just at his stats there, but you look down at his skills: long range shooting, dipping shot, one touch pass, through passing, weighted pass, pinpoint crossing. He's got bags of end product. He's going to score goals and create goals for you. The only real weakness is the offensive awareness, which is frustrating, but it's not the end of the world because you look at the rest, he's great on the ball, great passing, he's got decent speed. I'd like to get the offensive awareness up a bit because he's not brilliant defensively. You could maybe take some points from elsewhere, put them on his defenses, but I think that's a waste of a player who's got so much ability going forward and so much end product. I see this guy as an attacking midfielder personally. So if I look down here, they put 4 on defending. I'll take them back straight away. I don't think his passing needs to be that high. If you take a couple off there, that gives us an extra 6 points, which is quite a bit. You could take 1 off dribbling maybe. And then you go to dexterity. You can get that right up, so he's got 72 offensive awareness now. Still got 4 points left. I'll probably put 2 straight back onto dribbling, to be honest. And then the last 2, maybe just put him on finishing. Then his finishing's up to the 70 mark. So now if you're going to play him as an attacking midfielder like I would, and like I would recommend that people do, if that fits into your system obviously. Offensive awareness a little bit better. He's got his finishing up to 70. Good curl as well for his, and free kicks will be decent, but you can cross it as well. He's got pinpoint crossing. Great lofted pass and low pass. Really good on the ball. Good pace, really good balance, good stamina as well. Like I say, I've got the one from the Turkey pack, which is actually slightly better than this one. But this is a really good card for me. If you like creative midfielders, like, if you imagine he was a creative playmaker, playing him as an attacking midfielder, super effective. So yeah, it looks like a really good one to me. And then I'm a bit biased here as a Newcastle fan, but Nick Pope, good goalkeeper. I've already picked this guy up. He's very good. You can see from his stats. It's not a great deal to say. Jumping's not brilliant at 72, but he's about 12 feet tall, so that's not going to really, you're not going to notice that too much. The one thing you may notice with the catching and parrying, if he's not going to keep hold of shots, which he might not do with the catching not being too high, you might find he's prone to 1 or 2 of those rebound goals where he parries the ball into a dangerous area in the box. But he is good at shot stopping, and he's got good reach as well. He's a big, tall guy. He's got good reach. He's going to cover a lot of the goal. Should be very effective against long-range curlers. So yeah, like I say, with the parrying and catching and maybe the jumping, you could find he's lacking a little bit, but he's a very good shot stopper. Ultimately, there's a good goalkeeper option if you need a keeper option. So yeah, could be worth picking up. Ollie Watkins, interesting one, goal poacher, quick, good offensive awareness. He's not great on the ball, and his finishing could be a bit higher for a 5-star striker. You look down this guy's skill set. This is the one thing for me, is that you're going to want to try and get first time shot on him. You're going to need to get some skill trainers to see if you can get first time shot, because that's very important for a striker, especially if his finishing's not that high. He does a long range shooting as well. He's got aerial superiority, but not heading. So he'll be getting on the end of crosses and he'll get some headers in, but you might want to try and get heading as a skill as well to keep those headers under the bar. But yeah, very good pace. Like I say, good offensive awareness. Balance is pretty good. Physical and jumping, yeah, they're okay with heading 81. He's going to get some headers, but he's not a beast of a striker physically. Good stamina for a striker. Like I say, on the ball, he's not brilliant. So yeah, he's good in some areas, but you just got to be aware of his weaknesses. I think, like I say, with the lack of 1 or 2 skills and 1 or 2 weaknesses with his stats, he's not the best striker. I think unless you're a Villa fan, he's probably not going to be someone many people want to pick up, but he's definitely got some qualities. Then from Sporting, well, Pedro Goncalves, pretty straightforward attacking midfielder, to be honest. You can play him wide right. He's right-footed though, so if you've got a right footer playing wide right, you're probably going to want him to be putting crosses in, but he doesn't have pinpoint crossing. His Loftus pass isn't exactly outstanding, so I think really most people would use this guy as an AMF, as the creative playmaker play style as well, which will be active there. You look down at his skills, most importantly, you got long range shooting, first time shot, so he's going to be getting some shots in, and through passing. Personally, I would want 1-touch pass on this guy. It's an important one for midfielders, so I'll be looking to try and put 1-touch pass on him. But with through passing, he should have, he should be able to create chances for you. But for a 5-star attacking midfielder, those passing stats are too low for me. So I'm looking at taking some training points from elsewhere and trying to boost his passing. So they put 1 on defending, I'll get rid of that straight away. This guy's not going to defend. I'll get rid of those off shooting. I don't think it's going to make too much difference. Dribbling, good enough 1 off there. That frees up 3 points. What else do we want? If you take 1 off dexterity, that won't be too much of a problem. And where does that leave us? Gets that passing up to 82. What else could we lose? We can take 1 off lower body strength, I think. 1 off there, and then we get another 1 on passing. And then you got 1 left. Either put that on finishing or maybe put it on play style. That for me is much better. You get his passing up into the 80s. Still not outstanding, but I think significantly better. Still good on the ball, offensive awareness, decent pace, good balance, good stamina. He's a fairly straightforward attacking midfielder. Like I say, you might want to tweak the way he's trained, the way I just did there, and be mindful of the fact he doesn't have 1-touch pass. But apart from that, good option as an attacking midfielder. Caicedo is an interesting one. Box-to-box centre mid. Now this guy, I will start with his skill set. Long range shooting, that's good going forward for sure, but finishing is only 62, so I don't know how good his shooting is going to be, to be honest. Man marking, interception there, good defensive skills, but that's it. So he is lacking. It would be nice to put 1-touch pass on him for a start. That would be an important one. And then depending on how you plan to use him, you might want other ones. You might want through passing, or you might want to go with things like blocker to strengthen him defensively. This is the thing with Caicedo, is that you can train him different ways. As it is, I don't think you could use him as a defensive midfielder with his defensive awareness being that low. Offensive awareness isn't that high either. It's a bit on the low side. Decent pace. Not the strongest physically. That's something to be aware of. Stamina's great. And down the left, he's okay on the ball. Pretty reasonable on the ball. Passing's excellent. I don't think his passing needs to be that high. Like I say, it depends how you want to use this guy. I think personally, starting off with what he's got skill-wise, man mark interception, I'll be looking at his defensive skills, thinking he's going to be either a real box-to-box, traditional box-to-box, who's going to be doing some defending for you, or I might even use him as a defensive midfielder. But with the box-to-box play style, bear in mind, you play him DMF, you'll need to put defensive on him, stop him bombing forward too much. I'm just going to play around a bit see how we can train him up here. I'm going to go for a more defensive build. I think that default build was great going forward. You would need more skills, like I say, through passing, for example, and one-touch pass. But I'm just going to see if I can get a bit more defensive on him. Take a bit off there. Get some aerial on him. Get up to the 70 mark for physical contact. That would definitely help. So yeah, straight away, that's a nice build. Could actually take a bit more passing, to be honest, and get more physical on him. Doesn't make a huge amount of difference, but yeah, certainly you can get his defensive awareness up to the 80 mark, which I think is pretty significant. And those other defensive stats are excellent. And then he's still got decent pace. He's a bit stronger physically. Still got great stamina, still tidy on the ball, and passing 85 for low pass, still pretty good. Got the offensive awareness up to the 70 mark. For me personally, I would look to do something like that, but you can train in different ways. Like I said, I think ultimately it comes down to what skills you want to put in him, because he lacks skills. But depending what skills you can put on him, he could be a very good offensive box-to-box midfielder. But I think you can make him a really, really effective defensive midfielder as well. So could be a really useful card to pick up. He's also got unwavering form, which will be useful in the summer because the season's over soon. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good card for a lot of us. I might be picking him up myself. Nuno Mendes goes up to 95, left back from PSG. What I'm looking at straight away, I see crazy pace and stamina, and not a lot else. A bit frustrating for me. I've tried him previously. I found him a little bit clunky, not the most maneuverable on the ball, not the smoothest, the way he moves. He does have that crazy pace and stamina, but for me personally, you need more than that. I've had a little look, and you can't really train him to play centre-back. He's got that on his positions, but you can't really make him effective there. It's left back or left mid. As a left back, I would personally want more defensively, and I'll run a little bit more down the left as well, especially with his lofted pass, because he's got pinpoint crossing. You look down here, soul control is good on the ball, long range shooting, which is a nice little bonus, pinpoint crossing obviously, and down there interception, acrobatic clear, sliding tackle. So he's got skills to be able to play left midfield or left back. To play left back though, like I say, I'm getting rid of a load of his pace. Don't need that much. You can take a load off lower body, free up 16 points. He's still got 92 speed and 89 stamina, which is more than enough. Dexterity, I think I would leave that. Keep at the 70 mark for offensive awareness, so he's responsive enough when you're getting on the ball going forward. I'll go to his passing, get that up a bit. Still got 8 points. Stick that on defending. I don't think it's going to make too much difference to the physical contact. I'd take that off and put that on defending as well. That's about all you can do, I think, really, in terms of retraining him to as a left back. And even then, sure, he's still got crazy pace, really good stamina, but he's not brilliant defensively still. For a guy who goes to 94, 95, obviously he gets a lot of that rating from his pace. Not brilliant defensively, not brilliant on the ball at passing, but for a fullback, I would say his control, his dribbling, his passing is okay. Defensively, he can just about get by, but he's not brilliant. But he's got that great pace that can get him out of jail. So is he a good left back? Yeah, sure, he's good, but he's not an outstanding one. I think if you like your fullbacks to just have real crazy pace to be able to get up and down and a good engine on them, he might really appeal to you. But if you like your fullbacks to be strong defensively and to avoid getting caught out, a lot of people can catch you out of through balls in between your fullback and your centre back. I'm not sure he's going to be the best, but I'll quickly do a little rebuild, see what he's like as a left midfielder. So we'll get rid of that defensive straight away. Get his dribbling up a bit. Be nice to get his ball control to the 80 mark. That's tidy. And then passing, get that up there as well. Go all the way up there. I think what I'll do is put all those on shooting. Get his curl up to 70, because curl's pretty important for crossing. You want to make the most of his pinpoint crossing skill. So yeah, so there's still crazy pace, good stamina, but now better on the ball, and he's got some pretty decent passing for left midfield. Not outstanding. I'll especially look at that low pass and say it's not the best at 80, but with the pace and everything else and his skill set with the long range shooting and pinpoint crossing, if you like this guy as a left midfielder, could be a pretty good one for you. So yeah, like I say, good left back, good left midfielder, but just not outstanding. I think the only reason you'd be really excited to get this guy is if you really want pace down your left flank, and he's certainly got that. And then the last one in the pack, Bernardo Silva. Oof, goes to 96. Outstanding on the ball. It's pretty good passing, great offensive awareness. The one real weakness is his speed. He's a bit on the slow side, and for a small player, that concerns me because you don't want to be getting caught out on the ball. Big physical players in the opposition trying to moss you off the ball. Down his skill set, you pretty much know what to expect from this guy. Long range curlers, long range shots. He's got through passing, it's a pinpoint crossing, so he's got bags of end product. He does lack one touch pass. That's the one thing I think you'd really look to put on this guy to make the most of how good he is. One touch pass would be very, very helpful. And in terms of the way he's been trained, I'm looking at that speed straight away. I'm thinking, okay, where can we free up some points? I think personally, you don't need that much for his dribbling, so I'll take a bunch off there, take that down to there, get his speed up almost to the 80 mark. Where else can we free up a little bit? I don't think he needs all that balance. Offensive awareness, take a couple off there. That gets us to the 80 mark on his speed, and we've got 1 point left. You can stick it on a play style. Yeah, I think personally that's the build I'll be doing. I'm probably going to pick this guy up because he looks brilliant. You can play wide right, especially if you retrain him the way, similar to the way I have there. You get a bit more speed on him, be more effective on the right. You can cut inside and hit those long range curlers into the far corner. He can cross it as well. And he's great on the ball, good passing, got through passing. Offensive awareness is really good. Good call. This guy is a really, really good attacking midfielder. Like I say, can play on the right, but I think playing him as an attacking midfielder, creative playmaker, really, really good card. And for someone you don't have to spend any coins or GP on because it's a nominating contract, if you've got a 5-star contract and if attacking midfield is your thing, yeah, excellent. So there you go. That's all the players in the pack. Hopefully you found that useful. Thank you as always for watching. I'll see you next time.